Welcome back to the 815 Exchange. I am your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 336 once again for another episode of the 815 Exchange. I'm pausing right now because breaking news, even though by the time you see this, and I'm going to get to that later when I get to the NFL portion of today's podcast, Marlon Mack has been officially diagnosed with a torn Achilles. So we're starting off with some major news. How about that? Again, remind everybody, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode or any past episodes. If you're watching, leave a comment. Tell me what you want to hear. Timestamps, of course, are, like always, in the description. So if you're looking for a certain section, go ahead, speed up. I get it, long-form content. What a week in sports. This has been a massive week in sports. Had some stuff entertainment-wise as well. But, let me get straight to it and turn over to the wheel with all of the many topics we got today. We got TV and music. The NFL, ladies and gentlemen, football is back. I mean, it was back last week, but it's really back. The NFL, college football, NBA, soccer is on here. If it falls on it, I'll see what I have. I don't have as much as usual on that. And the NHL. Those are all of our topics for today. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. With the first spin of the day, we're going to start off with TV and music. So sorry to all my sports fans if you came here looking for sports. We're going to take a brief intermission here. But before I start talking about TV and music, I have to give a shout out to our unofficial water sponsor. Today's is Deer Park. Deer Park, 100% natural spring water. Stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. Very important. Drink your water. It'll keep you healthy, of course. So, TV and music. This week, what happened? We had The Boys, of course, my favorite show on television right now. Had episode 4 drop. Really good episode. It's been a really good season so far. Did a great job reestablishing after how Stormfront really took the forefront those first 3 episodes. They did a great job kind of reaffirming how intimidating, how scary, how intimidating, I said intimidating twice, I think, just now, Homelander is. And Anthony Starr, great actor. Really all the actors on the show are phenomenal. But yeah, a really good episode. I try to keep it spoiler free here. If you haven't started watching The Boys, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great show. Shows another side of the kind of superhero spectrum we're used to seeing. Whether that's Marvel or DC, it kind of shows a different type of feel. And yeah, a lot of stuff building up. Should be a very good second half of the season upcoming. In music, we had NBA Youngboy dropped his album Top. I thought it was good. I know there's a lot of back and forth between people comparing Top and My Turn. If I had to pick, I'm gonna pick My Turn. I think Lil Baby is one of the best artists of the year. He's had a phenomenal 2020. If anybody's had a good 2020, it's been Lil Baby. But this is about NBA Youngboy. Youngboy did his thing. It's not. I wouldn't put it in my favorite of his projects. I think it's definitely in that upper tier, though. I think I wasn't sure how to feel about it being 21 tracks, though. 21 songs. Which, as a fan, if you're like a super fan, that's great. You get 21 new songs. Or I guess excluding singles, probably 18. But I think it's hard for an artist to be able to carry on an album that long. You have to really be you got to be really good. You have to be really good. It's really hard to go 21 songs and all 21 of them hit different or, smack. I can't say that about Top. The vast majority of it got playlisted. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed it. I think it was like a solid 8 points. I've been trying to figure this out. Maybe like I'll say an 8.7. So still a very good album. Of course, he brought the energy per usual that if you're a fan, you know and love. If you're not a fan and you just heard of him, that you know of. It has some good songs. The feature was good. Wayne did his thing. Even Snoop, I think, to an extent, did his thing on Colin. I'm impressed though. For like I was saying, the 21 songs is a hard thing to do. He pulled it off pretty well. I think he's got a bright future as long as he can keep his head on straight or get his head on straight and kind of take himself out of certain situations that once you get to a certain status and level in life and in success, I don't think he needs to be entertaining some of these situations. But I mean, he's young, so I think that'll come over time. And bright future for him. Great album. I won't say great. Very good album. And so that's music and film. We will move on. All right. That was one for the blooper reel. I might make that a blooper reel one. I just hit TV and music about 4 times. That's a first time occurrence, I think, here on the A15 Exchange in my time spinning this wheel. But NBA, very, very exciting. I mean, honestly, I would probably say the biggest news, if not for football being back. And then, of course, if you're a basketball fan, this is the biggest news. Let's get straight to it. The Heat take out the Bucks, and I believe 5 games. What did I say? I said this last week. I've said this the week before. I've said this the whole playoffs. The Heat were my dark horse, and I was correct. Because now they sit, and I believe the series starts today. 1 series away from the NBA Finals. They have made the Eastern Conference Final. I'm not really surprised. They were my dark horse. Very good team. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro has been balling out. Now that he's got Cody Elise Henry in the bubble, ain't no telling what he's going to do. Dragic, Bam, of course. Shout out to the High Point Christian alum, Bam Adebayo. But yeah, man, Houston's for real. It's going to be a very good series as Boston takes out Toronto in, I believe, 7 games. Toronto, we're going to have a new champion, Pascal Siakam. Man, it was just a tough series for him. It was a tough playoffs for him. I think I saw that he had the worst 3-point shooting percentage in playoff history over the entire period. I'll check on that in editing, and I'll probably pop up a graphic if I can find it. Spicy P was not very good. Kyle Lowry did a great job. I mean, that loss isn't on him. That was a great series, though. The OG shot, Boston persevering. Jason Tatum is the truth. I've been telling y'all that. Also, the people that have been following him since high school, y'all know. He's got his team. He's taken over as the guy. I know a lot of people. Somebody was talking to me, and they were like, they thought Kemba was really going to be. My grandfather actually was talking to me, and he was like, what happened to Kemba? Because I guess he believed Kemba was supposed to be that guy. And maybe Kemba was that guy or was supposed to be the guy earlier on in the season, but I think Tatum's ascension was always going to end up with him here at the end of the season, and now them in the Eastern Conference Final with him being the guy on that team, being the star, and probably, well, I'm not going to say probably, he is, I think, a future superstar in this league, and very exciting to see his growth into a superstar. Tatum, Brown, Marcus Smart has been outrageous. He's been balling out, been really that X factor that the Boston team needed. Kimber doing what he does. Grant Williams, I saw, got some good minutes in Game 7. But yeah, Eastern Conference Final, we got Miami, we got Boston. Who do I have winning? It's tough. Because I think this is going to be another 7-game series. With the way both of these teams played, it's such a difficult series. If I had to pick somebody to win, I would go with the Heat based off of momentum. If I absolutely had to pick somebody, even though I'd much rather remain neutral and just be an NBA fan and watch this series develop, if I had to pick, I'd pick the Heat. I think they got the momentum. They kind of have a little bit of a team of destiny feel to them. So that's who I'd say wins the Eastern Conference Final. I would not be surprised if the Celtics win. We'll see. Kick it out west. Of course, like I said last episode, we got to stop with the overreactions after Game 1 when it deals with the Los Angeles Lakers. Because once again, Game 1 happened. Everybody was talking crazy. And the Lakers just executed the Rockets. Got them up out of here. Harden, I won't place too much blame on him. Russ absolutely has to play better. He's got to work on his shooting this offseason. Or something. Get with lethal shooter. Because the way they were guarding him at this point in the series, LeBron bullied him, by the way, with all those blocks. But he definitely needs to work on creating some sort of shot, because the Lakers just started leaning back and were just showing absolutely no respect, and it ended up causing some very ugly shooting splits for Westbrook in this series, and really it happened throughout the playoffs since he got back. I don't know if it's because the injury's still lingering with him. Of course, we all know Russ is a great player, a superstar, but he didn't play like one. Of course, we had the Daniel House situation. That was stupid. I think everybody knows that was stupid. Slept with a tester. I didn't know the testers actually got to go home, which is kind of interesting. But of course, the NBA bubble, they've done a great job with handling COVID, so I guess they got that under control. But he blew that, and of course, he has a wife and kids at home, which is even worse because that means he cheated on his wife, which he has children with, and he somewhat hurt. Well, not somewhat. He hurt his team because he wasn't there, and he was a major part of that bench. So just a bad situation for House. Mike D'Antonio is not returning for the Rockets. I think he said he's going to be a free agent. Very interesting to see what the Rockets do. I guess they're going to have to blow it up again. I don't know. But they're not making it out of the West. Lakers, they're looking very good, man. The defense is elite. It's funny because I'm about to get to the Clippers after this, of course. How we thought the Clippers were going to have the elite defense and the Lakers were going to have the elite offense, but it's the reverse. And right now, when the Lakers are hitting threes, I mean, they're unstoppable. So, Lakers handle business. I'll talk about the Western Conference Final probably next episode. Because, of course, we got the biggest game here. We got Game 7, the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. The Nuggets just will not die. The Clippers have blown a 3-1 lead. We'll see if they really blow a 3-1 lead, I guess, tonight. Or what? No, they played. I think it's tomorrow. Because I believe they played yesterday. I mean, what else is there? Like, Doc Rivers has a history of blowing these games. The Clippers are just... And I still stand by me picking them to win the NBA Finals and all that. But, man, like I told my friends who actually will be on one of these episodes not too long from now, so look out for that. probably be the first guest on this show. I was telling my friends, my pick and faith in the Clippers dies down every single day. Every single day. Lou Will can't guard anybody. He can get a bucket, can't guard anybody. Trez is the 6th man of the year, but he can't guard anybody. Really, it just seems like it's Kawhi out there sometimes, and that's not going to be enough. Denver, I've been talking about them all playoffs, similar to the Heat, honestly. MPJ has backed up that talk. Jokic is a beast. Jamal Murray has stepped up massively and really reached stardom here. He showed some great playmaking skills last game here in Game 6. No clue who's going to win. It's going to be a fun one for sure. If I had to pick, of course, I'm picking the Clippers because that's who I picked to win the finals. But, I mean, I don't know anymore. But it should be a very entertaining game nonetheless. And, that's the NBA for this week as I take a Deer Park unofficial sponsor, water break, and spin the wheel for the dirt time. All right, soccer. I accidentally left this on the wheel, but I do have a little bit to talk about soccer. Premier League came back this week. We had Leeds United, who just got promoted. A lot of people were excited to see them play. And they had Liverpool in the first game, which is about as tough as it gets. Actually, probably about as tough as it gets in the world for your first game up. And it was a heck of a game. If you can catch the highlights for that one, I definitely would go watch it. Highly entertaining game. Mo Salah with the hat trick. I think the final score is 4-3. But Leeds look good. I would not be surprised to see Leeds United stay up. Great manager. Great talent there. Calvin Phillips is phenomenal. Jack Harrison, formerly of Wake Forest and NYFC fame, scored a heck of a goal. So big ups to Leeds. Liverpool gets off on the right foot, however, and gets the win. What else happened? Marseille and PSG had a very big confrontation yesterday. Marseille actually upset PSG 1-0, but I think 5 red cards there at the end of the game. Little brawl, I guess a brawl for soccer. A lot of words being thrown. I think one of the Marseille players called Neymar racial slur. I think that's what's being called. Neymar had some interesting things to say about that. I'll pop that tweet up, I think, right here. That's it. No real big transfer news for soccer. Chelsea still looking for a goalkeeper. All right, college football. Yes, one of my favorite sports sections, I guess you could call it, to follow, because it's always entertaining. College football season is always entertaining, and I guess it helps that I'm a college student as well. We're gonna start off with the number 1 team in the land, the Clemson Tigers. They had the college game day with Wake Forest. They took the win. Trevor Lawrence looked like the number 1 overall pick. Threw some dimes in there. Looked like he got better. I know they were playing Wake, but he looked really good. 351 yards passing, 3 total touchdowns, including 2 rushing. Big day for him. Travis Etienne is an NFL running back playing college football. Actually, that was another tweet. If I can find that, I will pop that up right here. Etienne balled out. He had 95 yards in the first half. DJU got to play a little bit. I saw really everybody got to play for Clemson. KJ Henry, West Forsyth alum. Shout out to the 336. He showed out. Clemson looked good. Clemson looked really good. I'm not sure how they're going to do the CFP this year. I know they're having it, but it's pretty safe to say that they'll be in their sixth straight college football playoff. Of course, the big news. Actually, before I get to that, I'll start off with the good news for my Big 12 fans. Sam Ehlinger in Texas beat the crap out of UTEP. Sam had 5 touchdowns, I think. He went stupid. Spencer Rattler is the next in this long, everlasting line of elite Oklahoma quarterbacks. He went crazy against, it's Missouri State, but still went crazy. I think he had 4 touchdowns, went 14 for 17. He looks special, very, very special. However, the Big 12 had a all-time bad week, especially against one particular conference. Perhaps the Power 5 should discontinue the Big 12 and add the Sun Belt, because the Sun Belt went 3-0 against the Big 12. We had, Louisiana beat number 23 ranked Iowa State. Iowa State supposedly had a possible first rounder quarterback in Brock Purdy. He didn't show up to the game, I guess, because he was garbage all game. Louisiana, their head coach you definitely want to watch out. You definitely want to look out for getting a major job coming up, doing a great job with that program. They upset Iowa State. We had Arkansas State upset Kansas State. We had, in the nightcap, we had Coastal Carolina, who was dominating at the half. Turn out, they upset Kansas. So a bad week for Kansas, I guess. If you're a Big 12 team from Kansas, this was not your week football-wise. The Sun Belt just completely dominates the Big 12, which is not something you see every week. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is college football. This happens weekly, some more times than other weeks, but this is the beauty of college football. And it almost got worse for the Big 12 because Houston Baptist, which they're now 0-2, but is not one of the worst FCS teams, I believe, took Texas Tech to their limit. Texas Tech managed to barely squeak by, 35-33. Houston Baptist quarterback, because I have his stats right here, went 30 for 49, had 567 yards passing, and had 4 touchdowns, not 40 touchdowns. Had 4 touchdowns. Shout out to Bailey Zapp for balling out. If Houston Baptist would have beat Texas Tech, who, by the way, Texas Tech was a 40-point favorite in this game. A 40-point favorite. And almost lost, and only won by 2. Bad week for the Big 12. More opt-out news. Wyatt Davis for Ohio State, one of the best linemen in the country. Even though the Big 12 is talking about trying to come back, a lot of people from Ohio State are starting to, that have their stock high, are starting to opt out. Davis opts out, and of course the big one came out today. Shaun Wade, one of the best DBs in the country, top 15 pick, I think. Well, we'll see. He's sitting out, so I don't know. But would have been a top 15 pick at least. Shaun Wade, one of the best DBs in the country. He's opted out for Ohio State. We'll see what the Big 12, Big 10 does. We'll see what Ohio State does as they try to make a decision here. The SEC returns next week. Of course, as many of you know, or many of you don't know, I go to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So, gotta talk about my guys. It appears we have a new rivalry. I think this is a very appropriate rivalry against Appalachian State. Based off of the way they were chirping on the field and the way people were chirping online, I would say it's a rivalry. App wins 35-20. We played well. App played better. That's just it at the end of the day. Defense held it down that first half, but too many missed opportunities at the end. Offense definitely needs to get going. It's not going to get any easier. We got North Carolina next week and Sam Howell. Even though Sam Howell didn't have the greatest of weeks last week and North Carolina didn't have the greatest weeks last week, looks like we're going to be 0-2. But just want to see us be competitive. So once we get into conference play, we can start to string off wins and string off some momentum here. I got to give a special shout out, though, for Appalachian State. They've been putting on for North Carolina. And I got to give a special shout out to team captain and one of the best receivers in the country. I'm going to say it. T. Henney, Thomas Hennigan. 5 receptions, 120 yards, a touchdown. T. Henney's a beast. If you're from Greensboro, you know. I've been seeing him do this and dominate for the past 6 to 8 years, back when he was at Northwest Guilford. Hennigan's a beast. No other way to put it. One of the best in the game, I think. One of the best receivers in college football. Definitely going to make some NFL team very, very happy in a couple months. I think he's going to put up some big numbers this year. Him and Zach Thomas got a great rapport, so... yeah, that's the college football recap for the week. So move it over to, let's do the NHL first, shall we? The NHL. Because, ladies and gentlemen, finally, it took a while here in the playoffs. Even though I had some in the first round, I have finally got some NHL predictions right. Thank you. We finally got some NHL predictions right. Tampa Bay is up 3-1 over the Islanders. Of course, both of these leads. Once again, I just thought about that. This just hit me. Once again, every single series in the NHL playoffs is in a 3-1. This has been a reoccurring theme, I just noticed. But yeah, Tampa Bay up 3-1 over the Islanders. I picked Tampa Bay to win here. Nikita Kucherov is playing like the MVP. Him and Braden Point been playing, just balling out. They've been phenomenal. I expect them to close out, though. The Islanders, they're a tough customer. Of course, they're in the Eastern Conference Final for a reason. Same thing with the Vegas Golden Knights, who are losing 3-1 to Dallas. I picked Dallas. Kudobin has been putting on a show as their goalie, doing a great job back there. Collected a couple first stars of the game, raising that save percentage. Had a perfect 100 save percentage. Had a shutout. I think in like game 3 or game 2. So yeah, great job from Dallas. Great job from Tampa Bay. I'll do Stanley Cup final predictions next episode. We'll see who wins. I think both of them close out here in the respective game 5s, but we'll see. Kicking it over to the NFL. We have some big news. Of course, Marlon Mack. I must talk about my fantasy team real quick while I pull up something. Marlon Mack's injury makes me feel like a genius for picking up Nyheim Hines, who is now, as I'm being told, the #1 waiver wire pickup for this week. I don't want to say I'm a prophet. I hope Marlon, of course, gets back. This is not me, being happy because he's hurt. But I do feel like a little bit of a genius for putting my stock into Hines. I think Jonathan Taylor's definitely going to get some opportunities there. They'll split carries. And we'll see how that works and how that goes for them. But, of course, the NBA, the NFL has returned. Let's see. Thursday we had the Chiefs and the Texans. Patty Mahomes looked like Patty Mahomes. Chiefs did what they do, 34-20. No real surprises here. Texans kind of made a little bit of a comeback here, but it was mostly garbage time. Chiefs look like they're going to be contenders again. Yeah. Cowboys-Rams. I'm a Cowboys fan, for those that don't know. I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan, and I did not expect us to win this game. However, the offensive pass interference called on Gallup does leave a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. I can't lie. Even though we really just didn't play well. I mean, we only scored 17 points. Defense did what they were supposed to. As they said, I think this morning, I was watching SportsCenter, Kellen's got to get more creative with his play calling, with all the weapons we have. And Dak, I dare say, is even a weapon at quarterback. Definitely got to call a better game there. Do some more stuff to get going. But yeah, I don't know about that pass interference caught against Gallup on Jalen Ramsey. But the Rams take that one. Seahawks and Russell Wilson. He's still Russell Wilson. Because Atlanta debuting their new jerseys. Didn't go that well. Seattle hangs 38 on them, handled business. DK made up for that drop with that big catch. Yeah, Seattle looked impressive. The Jets look like they're probably going to be in contention for the #1 overall pick. Though I think Darnold can still be the guy for them, but Adam Gase gotta go. He's gotta go. He's not the guy there. Bills look good. Josh Allen. I will admit I was a Josh Allen doubter. He's proven me wrong. Stephon Diggs for my fantasy players and for his debut, he looked good. So big things possibly coming for the Bills, who should be contending for that AFC East title this year. DeAndre Swift is going to have to deal with the trauma of dropping what should have been a game winner. I feel for Matt Stafford every time. Honestly, dude is a very good quarterback. A very good quarterback. But just has the worst luck. Detroit just has the worst luck. Trubisky actually didn't play too bad, which was kind of shocking. With the amount of flack he got, had 3 touchdowns. But yeah, it's gonna take a while for Swift to get over that drop. That was not good. Also in the NFC North, we have the Packers and the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers is back with a vengeance. Y'all didn't give him no weapons, so he'll make his own weapons. Valdez-Scantling played great. Devontae Adams, I have to talk about him. 14 receptions, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Him and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who had 364 yards and 4 touchdowns himself. Big game for the Packers. I wouldn't get overly optimistic if I was y'all. But we'll see. Maybe the Packers are back. Who knows? Cam Newton is back. That's for sure. Probably my shoo-in for NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Looked very good against the Dolphins. There was no Fitzmagic for the Dolphins at all. The Eagles, I know they're dealing with some offensive linemen being out, but they were getting Carson Wentz killed out there, and Wentz didn't play a good game as is. Big win for Washington. I actually don't mind their kind of branding right now, though it is a little bit weird calling them the Washington football team. But nah, they 27-17, good win. I have to get rid of my bias. I know my boy Raheem is probably ecstatic. He was texting me about them. Chase Young is a beast as advertised. Their D-line is going to be really good. That could be a 49ers type situation with all those first rounders and that amount of talent, how good that D-line can be. Let's see. We had the Raiders and the Panthers. Raiders came back. Josh Jacobs played a great game. Great game for Josh Jacobs. CMC is still the franchise for the Panthers, but definitely one that their thing got away from them. Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson, and the Browns are still the Browns. I think that can pretty much sum up the Ravens-Browns. I really don't need to say much. The Browns were the Browns, and Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He is no fluke. He's the most dynamic player in the game, and you saw what happens. Randy Bullock, I guess he blew out his calf. Feel bad for Burrow. Did a great job leading his team down there. Could have sent it to overtime, but the Chargers get the win. But Bullock, you can't be missing 20 yarders. I really hope he was actually injured, and it wasn't just, oh, my feelings are hurt, so let me act like I'm hurt because I just shanked this field goal. But Burrow not bad. Of course, he's a young quarterback. Think Bengals got one. Definitely got to get Tyler Boyd more involved, though. AJ Green was a little rusty as well. Saints and the Buccaneers was one of the headline games for the week. Brady did not did not impress. He was not that great. The Bucks could disappointed. It may just be because there was no preseason and they need time to gel, which is what it very well may be. But Brady didn't look that great. Evans got in that altercation with Marshawn Lattimore, I believe. Saints look good. Saints defense looked great. Alvin Kamara just got paid, and he backed it up for sure. Saints are contenders per usual. I mean, nobody's surprised. They're the perennial contenders. As long as Drew Brees can throw a football, they will be contenders. Mike Thomas was MIA, though. So the fact that they still won by 11 points without Mike Thomas having any kind of real impact bodes well for Saints fans. Big upset. The 49ers get taken out by the Cardinals, who could be. They got a lot of weapons. DeAndre Hopkins went crazy. I got to pull up his stat line real quick. 14 receptions, 151 yards. Kyler Murray had over 100 yards rushing, but because of that darn near 20-yard knee he took, lost some yards, but Kyler showed out. They did a great job putting weapons around him, putting talent around him to help him succeed. And Cardinals are going to be really good, I think, this year. I could definitely see. As long as Kyler continues to develop and become a great quarterback, I think that's what this really sets on. I think their defense will do enough. 49ers defense didn't actually look too bad, but their offense didn't look great. Garoppolo kind of missed some stuff at the end there, and the questions are definitely starting to needed to be asked about whether he's really the guy for them. Is he going to be the guy that's going to help get them back to the Super Bowl and help them win a Super Bowl most of all? And of course, we got the Monday night games today. Of course, as you know, I'm probably recording this on a Monday. We got the Steelers and the Giants, Titans and the Broncos. I need Saquon for personal reasons, aka fantasy reasons, to go absolutely bonkers, or I'm going to take an L this week. But that's the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Football is back. It feels so good. I have covered everything on the wheel, which means it is time for the Roundup. And of course, let's see what I have. Chicago Cubs, Alec Mills, no-hitter. I think it's the second no-hitter. I think Lucas Giolito had the first one, so both of those in Chicago. Both Chicago teams, really I'd say the White Sox more so. Pretty good teams. But big no-hitter though for Mills. No-hitters I've noticed really can help elevate pitchers confidence-wise and really help push them to even overachieve past what was expected of them going forward. So we'll see if that happens with Alec Mills. Of course, in tennis, we had the U.S. Open concluded. Naomi Osaka, shout out to my boy Corday. He had a very interesting celebration. Really, that's the type of energy, you need from a significant other. If you see them succeeding, that's the type of energy you want to see. And Corday brought that. But that was cool to see. They're a dope couple. Of course, Naomi, she's the future of tennis. 23 years old, I think. Third major title, second U.S. Open in 3 years. She's special. Looks like she's a great hardcore player right now, so we'll see if she can develop on clay and on grass and really incorporate those other elements to make her a complete tennis player, but definitely can see her going down that all-time great path. Dominic Thiem, because of Djokovic's actions, last episode that I chronicled, we were guaranteed a new major winner here in men's tennis. We're none of the big four in action. We had Dominic Thiem versus Alexander Zverev. And Thiem in a really good match. 5 sets, made a comeback. Thiem gets his maiden major here in the U.S. Open. So congrats to him. I believe he's 27 years old, got a bright future here. Definitely can kind of help shake some things up with the Big Four. Even though I love the Big Four, Federer is my favorite tennis player of all time. And their contributions are, everlasting. It's probably the 4 or 3, greatest tennis players to ever play. It's the golden era. So, but it's good to see some young talent come up in tennis and really start to make an impact. So I'm not sure what my time is here exactly. I've covered everything. We have reached the end of this episode. Of course, remember to like, share, and subscribe. For my people in college, I get it now. I get it now. Before I sign off here, I get it. Online school has its benefits, but it's terrible. I will be back in Charlotte in 2 weeks though, so that's cool. But yeah, just me kind of ranting about my personal life here at the end. But thank you for watching the A15 Exchange. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. As always, leave feedback. Tell me what you want to see. Guests are coming very, very, very soon. Very, very soon. And yeah. Stay hydrated. Shout out to Deer Park. Shout out to Naomi Osaka. Shout out to all my football fans. We're back. And yeah. Ocho, signing off.